What's up guys, today I'm taking a look at a custom Nerf sniper pistol called the Zinc. The original Zinc 2.0 was created by 118 Design or Auto Sidearm, as you may know them on Discord, but the Zinc I have here today is a big step up from the original, and it's made by Nerfer Misplaced Moose, who named it the Ziiiinc because of its added length, but it's also far more powerful. I'd like to save that chrono test for later on in the video, but just so you know, it's hitting up there with the big boys like the Talon Claw, and it's shooting harder than any of the Dart Zone blasters out of the box. The Zinc is a 3D printed blaster, so when you buy one of these from Moose, that means you get the option of choosing pretty much any color you like for it. Whichever color you choose though, if you're using it in public, an orange front end is absolutely mandatory. And I'd also recommend bright colors for the slide and frame because the Zinc does share a lot in common with the SIG P320 service pistol used by the US government. The Zinc is a manual springer, so to use it you simply load in a mag full of darts, rack the slide and fire, racking again for each shot. The mag holds 13 shots, and when you fire the last shot of the mag, the pistol will let you know by preventing you from closing the slide. From there, simply drop the empty mag out, load in a fresh mag, and close the slide and you're back to firing. The proprietary magazine can be removed at any time, so you can actually tactically reload even when the mag isn't fully empty, or when a dart's currently loaded in the breech. Also, if you hold down the trigger and rack the slide, you can slam fire the blaster. It's not something I'd personally recommend wasting your darts to do, but in a pinch you could do it at the expense of accuracy. Speaking of accuracy, up the front of the blaster, one big change from the original Zinc that Moose made is the addition of a bearing scar. This device uses 9 bearings in groups of 3 to add spin to your darts as they leave the muzzle, giving you accuracy matching that of full-size springers in a compact package. Although being a pistol, it is a bit harder to aim without a buttstock, but I'll talk more about that later on. Moving further back from the muzzle now, you can see through a cutout in the slide the massive K25 spring that powers the blaster. And behind that, you can just barely see the metal plunger tube through 4 decorative cutouts. I found that priming this was nice and smooth for a 3D printed blaster. The K25 spring though I think is a little heavy for kids, but adults should have no problem using it. The Zinc actually has a small amount of recoil too. I'd say it's similar to a 22 caliber pistol, and that's because the piston's firing backwards with that K25 spring straight back towards your hand. This blaster uses a U-shaped breech similar to the Lynx if you've ever seen that blaster before. On top of the slide, it's designed that you can attach an RMR sight straight out of the box. This one here is pretty common and you can find it online at places like Amazon, eBay, or either Airsoft or Gel Blaster stores. At the bottom of the frame, there's a decent length of Picatinny rail where you could add a flashlight or any other attachment you fancy. On both sides of the frame, it has the embossed text 13 by 38mm, which I think is pretty cool since darts are 38mm long and the mags hold 13 of them. Behind that, it also has the pretty cool little elemental symbol for Zinc. The grip of the blaster has an indent for your thumb to sit in, and it has a hexagonal pattern on the sides, finger grooves on the front, and texturing on the back to make it easy to hold onto even if you aren't wearing gloves. The trigger pull isn't the worst 3D printed blaster I've ever held, but it's also fairly stiff at the end of the pull. I think it's probably due to how heavy that catch has to be to support a K25 mainspring. And also, one downside I did notice is that you can't deprime the blaster because the trigger isn't actually in contact with the catch until the slide's fully closed. That's a design choice of do you want slam fire or do you want to be able to deprime? And with the Zinc, that choice was made to have slam fire. So when you're done with a pistol for the day, I'd just load 1 dart into the mag and fire it to deprime the blaster. And of course you can't plug the barrel with your finger to fire it since the bearings need to have air spacing between them. On the left hand side of the grip, so not ambidextrous, you'll find the mag release lever. The 13 round mags gravity drops straight out nice and smooth, and the magwell is flared to make inserting them that much easier. The mags are specified to hold 13 shots, although I did find you can squeeze 14 darts in there total. Also, the mags only function in one direction. Make sure you have the mag catch facing forwards and the base plate also facing forwards. They are more rounded on the front side than the back, which does prevent you inserting them the wrong way around though. Now for the next part of the video, I'll get some testing. Let's begin by shooting a full mag over the chronograph to see just how hard it's hitting with worker darts.
211, 216, 188, 213, 210, 218, 230. Whoops, I just slam fired the bloody thing. 218, 228, 228 again, 217, 222, and I'll fire one more dart because I accidentally slam fired one. 207.
With worker darts, it shot a high of 230, a low of 188, and an average of 210. I think that's incredible performance for a mag-fed spring pistol Nerf blaster. It's even shooting harder than some rifle-sized Nerf blasters. Given that impressive velocity performance, now let's see how accurately it shoots. It has a bearing scar barrel after all, adding spin to the darts, so I'm going to shoot from 30 meters away.
Okay guys, here's the 30 meter mark that I just measured with my rangefinder. Look guys, without a buttstock on this thing, I'm going to try my best to stabilize it on my knee from a distance of 30 meters. Unless you're going to be wheeling a vise out with you on the field, I can't see you getting 100% accuracy with this thing every single time, especially with that heavy trigger pull.
By the way, this target is 1 meter in diameter. The first hit was just below the bullseye, so it looks like I have my aim dialed in. Now for half speed slow-mo for the rest of the shots. The second shot was lower than the first shot, but still centered with the bullseye. That one narrowly clipped the target on the bottom left. Could be user error, but so far that's still a sub 50 centimeter grouping. That one hit about 35 centimeters left of the bullseye. That shot landed high and to the left of the bullseye, which means the grouping's now grown to around 50 centimeters. That shot did not clip the target, but it was very close to the same spot as the one that did. That shot impacted left and about 35 centimeters high of the center, unfortunately increasing the spread to around 70 centimeters now. That one was lower than the last shot, so keeping it within a 70 centimeter spread. That shot narrowly hit the red edge, so it was still inside the 70 centimeter spread. That shot sounded audibly weaker, so possibly a bad dart or something, but it impacted below the target hitting the tree, increasing the spread to around 1 meter. A similar impact point as the existing topmost shot, not increasing the spread at all. That shot landed well within the 1 meter grouping, but now for the 14th and final shot of the mag. And that one impacted well within the existing spread. So it looks like from a distance of 30 meters, I was able to get a 1 meter spread using worker darts and shooting rested on my knee. I think one of the shots that went a bit low may have been a bad dart, and overall your mileage will probably vary. Without a stock, I think some of you will do worse than this, and some of you could probably do better than this if you're more experienced with pistols. But now for a different kind of test.
Okay guys, now understanding that this thing is 3D printed and the magazine is the thinnest part on the whole blaster, I'm going to give this thing an accuracy test as well from about 20 meters away. I suspect the tabs at the top here that hold your darts in will probably be the first thing to break. Okay, I need to aim higher and nothing's broken yet. Oh, just short. Oh, I see something purple. Okay, that is the mag base. Now, that mag spring is well and truly lost to space and time, just like a Nerf dart when you shoot it. So if you guys manage to spot that in any of the footage, let me know and I'll go grab it next week. But for now, let's pop this mag base back on. And in the same spirit of that test, we'll see what happens if you leave it on the ground and someone steps on it. Oh shit, we're out of ammo. Quick, reload. Dude, you just stepped on my mag.
At this point in the video, I want to quickly point out that the mags are really cheap to buy, so if someone did step on one of yours and break it, just suck it up and replace it, or even print your own. They definitely seem durable enough to survive dropping though, if you can find the mag spring. Overall, I'm quite impressed with Moose's Ziiiinc. It shoots at over 200 feet per second velocity, and has some really nice accuracy, while having the compact form factor of a SIG P320. After using it for a day in both testing and gameplay, I have a couple of points to discuss from my experience with it.
You dead.
Firstly, while it may have the potential accuracy of a rifle-length Springer, without a buttstock, it takes a lot more skill from the shooter to correctly direct those shots at the enemy you're trying to hit. You'd have to practice a lot with it to be able to keep your hand steady throughout the trigger pull, especially with that kick that the plunger has and the stiffness of the trigger pull. Secondly, without the shotgun pump grip of a rifle style blaster, if you do miss, follow-up shots take a bit longer to dish out in comparison. In the hands of a skilled player, I can see you getting the maximum potential out of this blaster, but for the majority of people, I think the tool will be capable of more than its user. I do believe though that this would make a great sidearm for any player. Also, up close and personal, slamfire could be handy, though I never found myself wanting to forgo any form of accuracy in favour of volume. If nothing else, I think using a pistol, your opponent may underestimate you, and they might just let down their guard long enough for you to get off a well-aimed shot. If you want to pick one of these up, check out the video description for links to Moose's web store or where to contact directly. And if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, here's 2 other videos you might enjoy. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.